Reluctantly, the young surgeon confided in a senior colleague, recounting his experiences with the phantom figure in the operating room. To his surprise, the senior surgeon listened intently, his expression grave. He revealed that he too had seen the figure, as had many others on the night shift team. The figure, he explained, was rumored to be the ghost of a surgeon who had died under mysterious circumstances years ago, his spirit unable to find peace. Disturbed and terrified by this revelation, the young surgeon requested a transfer to a different department. Despite his best efforts to move on, the memory of the phantom surgeon haunted him, a constant reminder of his brush with the unknown. To this day, the hospital staff claims to occasionally catch glimpses of the figure during late-night shifts, a silent specter that serves as a chilling reminder of the hospital's dark and mysterious past. In a renowned hospital nestled within the heart of a bustling city, where the hum of life never truly fades, a young surgeon eagerly joined the night shift team. Fresh out of medical school, his passion for healing and saving lives burned brightly within him, driving him to excel in his chosen field. His first night on the job was met with excitement and a touch of nervousness, as he prepared to assist in a complex surgery that would test his skills and knowledge. As the operation progressed under the sterile glow of the operating room lights, the young surgeon's focus was unwavering. Yet amidst the controlled chaos of the surgical team, he noticed a peculiar presence in the corner of the room. A figure, shrouded in darkness and obscured by the machinery, stood silently, its form indistinct yet unmistakably human. The figure appeared to be dressed in outdated surgical attire, a relic from a bygone era, and its eyes, though unseen, seemed to watch the procedure with an eerie intensity. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the light or a product of his overworked mind, the young surgeon continued with his duties. However, as the nights passed and the figure continued to appear, always in the same corner, always watching, doubt began to gnaw at his resolve. He tried to reason with himself, attributing the sightings to fatigue-induced hallucinations or the stress of his new responsibilities. But the figure persisted, a silent and unsettling presence in the otherwise sterile environment of the operating room. As the weeks turned into months, the young surgeon's mental state began to fray. The constant presence of the figure weighed heavily on his mind, causing him to second-guess his every move. His once steady hands began to shake, and his once sharp mind became clouded with doubt. Small mistakes crept into his work, imperceptible to the untrained eye but glaringly obvious to him. His colleagues took notice, expressing concern over his declining performance and urging him to seek help. In a city steeped in history, where the past whispers through the corridors of time, stood a hospital that had served the community for generations. The hospital's old wing, a labyrinth of corridors and wards, was a relic of a bygone era, its walls bearing witness to countless lives saved and lost over the years. But beneath its facade of healing and hope lurked a darker truth, a whispered legend of hauntings and restless spirits that had plagued the old wing for decades. On a quiet evening, a new nurse arrived for her first shift on the night rotation. Excited yet nervous, she was eager to make a difference in the lives of her patients. However, as she stepped into the old wing of the hospital, a sense of unease washed over her. The air was thick with the weight of the past, and shadows seemed to dance in the flickering light of the overhead lamps. As the night wore on, the nurse's unease grew. Strange noises echoed through the halls, a symphony of creaking floorboards and whispered voices that sent shivers down her spine. Equipment would malfunction inexplicably, lights flickering on and off as if controlled by an unseen force. Despite her growing fear, the nurse pressed on, determined to fulfill her duties and care for her patients. During her rounds, she would catch glimpses of a figure in old-fashioned nurse attire, fleeting and elusive, disappearing around corners before she could approach. Each sighting filled her with a sense of dread, yet she continued her duties, trying to convince herself that it was merely her imagination playing tricks on her. But as the nights passed, the encounters became more frequent and unsettling. The figure would appear closer, its form becoming more distinct yet ethereal, as if existing in a realm between the living and the dead. One fateful night, as she was checking on a patient in the dimly lit ward, the figure materialized beside her, its presence cold and unsettling. It whispered words she couldn't understand, its voice a haunting echo from the past. Terrified, the nurse fled the room, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew then that the rumors were true. The old wing of the hospital was haunted by a restless spirit, unable to find peace in the afterlife. The next day, she handed in her resignation, unable to shake off the fear that gripped her heart. To this day, the old wing of the hospital remains closed, its halls silent yet filled with the echoes of the past. Staff and patients alike report eerie occurrences, strange noises in the night, shadowy figures that vanish into thin air, and an unshakable feeling of being watched. The legend of the haunted hospital wing lives on, a testament to the hospital's dark and mysterious history. In a quiet town nestled among rolling hills, where the streets were lined with quaint shops and friendly faces, stood a small clinic known for its exceptional medical care. The clinic had recently welcomed a new surgeon to its staff, a young man with a stellar reputation and a promising career ahead of him. Eager to make a positive impact, he approached his first day with enthusiasm and a determination to excel in his new role. On his first day, the surgeon was assigned to perform a routine surgery in operating room 13, the last room in a corridor that had earned a reputation for its eerie atmosphere. As he entered the operating room, he noticed a chill in the air that seemed to linger despite the warmth of the lights. Dismissing it as a trick of the mind, he began the surgery, confident in his skills and the success of the procedure. However, as the surgery progressed, strange occurrences began to unfold. The lights flickered intermittently, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The surgical tools seemed to move of their own accord, shifting positions on the table when the surgeon's back was turned. At first, the surgeon brushed off these incidents as mere coincidences, attributing them to faulty equipment or a trick of the light. But as time went on, things took a darker turn. The patient's condition, which had initially been stable, began to deteriorate rapidly despite the surgery going smoothly. Attempts to stabilize the patient were unsuccessful, and tragically, the patient passed away on the operating table. The surgeon was devastated, unable to understand how a routine procedure could have gone so wrong. In the weeks that followed, other surgeons assigned to operating room 13 reported similar incidents. Patients experienced unexpected complications, surgical equipment malfunctioned, and strange happenings occurred in the operating room. Despite efforts to investigate and rectify the situation, the clinic was unable to shake off the rumors of the cursed operating room. In the end, the clinic was forced to close its doors, unable to overcome the stigma attached to operating room 13. The once thriving medical facility now stands as a haunting reminder of the mysterious forces that can lurk within the walls of even the most reputable institutions. The story of the cursed operating room lives on as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the thin line between success and tragedy in the world of medicine.